Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Godwyns. I'm so glad to welcome you back to the School of Leadership and Discipleship. We began this series on the subject, the 10 Commandments of Leadership. We've been able to go through episode 1 to 8. Today we're dealing with the 9th episode, which is the 9th Commandment of Leadership. And that is, thou shalt persevere through adversity. Ladies and gentlemen, let no man deceive you that leadership is easy. That is not true. Leadership is not easy. One of the reasons I have to let you understand this is because sometimes people are fighting or struggling to get into a leadership position. They do not even understand what leadership is all about. It's not about calling the shot alone. There are a lot of things that come alongside with the priorities of leadership. Leadership has some element of oppositions that go alongside with it. Alright, that is one of the reasons today I want to speak to you on the subject, thou shalt persevere through adversity. You were just made the head of a unit in your organization. People that were laughing with you before suddenly became your enemy. And you are wondering, what have I done wrong that these guys are standing against me today? You do not understand that one of the things or one of the reasons they are rising against you is because of the leadership position that you have just gotten yourself into. You are going to be facing oppositions as a leader. As a matter of fact, you could open your social media handle sometimes, and you see a lot of people that are speaking against you, people that don't even understand what your life is all about, that do not understand what exactly you do in the organization, people that do not understand what your policies are. Everybody wants to say something about the leader, and most times it may be something that is negative, not necessarily positive. So you have to stay as a leader to fight through the process of those oppositions that you meet in the course of you leading. And of course, I'm talking about the person of positional leadership. And I put down here that leadership is not tested in comfort. Leadership is tested in crisis. What does it mean to persevere? Perseverance, right, is the ability to endure hardship, opposition, and failure without giving up. There will be oppositions, there will be hardship in the course of the leadership. Alright, sometimes you can make policies that fail. Alright, in the midst of all of that, do you give up? As a leader, you don't. Theologically, perseverance is rooted in faith and hope. James chapter 1 verse 12 says, blessed is the man that endureth temptation, for when he is tried, he shall receive the crown of life which the Lord had promised to them that love him. Perseverance is not just surviving trial. It is enduring with the conviction that whatsoever I'm going through now is going to be over if I could stay to keep doing what I'm supposed to do. Ladies and gentlemen, secularly, perseverance is seen as a grit, alright, determination or resilience, alright, the ability to stand in the midst of the things you're going through, to say that this is what I'm supposed to do, I'm going to do it successfully. I stumbled on the work of a woman by the name Angela Duckworth, and she calls grits the single biggest predictor of success. If you are going to be successful in leadership or successful in life, you have to learn to stamp your feet and refuse to quit when you are supposed to quit. Let's start from the point of view of theology. Nehemiah had received instruction from the king to go back to Jerusalem to build the wall of Jerusalem, right? And he was doing that. And suddenly Sanballat and Tobiah rose up against him. The opposition was fierce, right? In the midst of all of that, we saw that this man by the name Nehemiah persevered until he successfully completed the vision he had according to the leadings of God for his life. I'm simply saying to you today, you are going to meet a lot of oppositions in your life as a leader. And one of the things you have to learn to do is never to give up on your dream, or give up on your visions, or give up on the things that you intend to do. Let's quickly go into examples of secular leaders who persevere in the face of opposition. Abraham Lincoln became the president of the United States, the 16th president of the United States. Right? And as soon as he became, the union was to be torn apart. There was going to be a secession, which eventually led to what you call the Civil War today in the history of the United States of America. This man, in the midst of all of that, stood his ground that this union was not going to break. We are going to unite the union. The South and the North had to continue to be together. If Abraham Lincoln did not persevere in the face of the opposition he came in contact with, or the things that happened when he became the president, today perhaps we wouldn't have had the United States of America. The point I'm trying to say, ladies and gentlemen, is that you get into leadership does not mean everything is going to go very easy for you. You could get into the position today, and the next minute there's an outbreak of conspiracy in the organization. Are you going to give up? No. You could become a political leader today, either over a unit, a district, a county, a local government, whatever. I don't know what they call it in your place. Anywhere you find yourself as a political leader, as soon as you became the leader, something could break out within the place. Are you going to give up? You stay, persevere until you solve the problems of the people. So the point that you have to put at the back of your mind today is leadership is not just bed of roses. As you desire leadership, all right, it's not just getting to the place and believe that things are going to go smoothly for you. You could get into a leadership position, and there are several positions that come alongside with you. You don't quit, you stay. You have to persevere through adversity as a leader. So the ninth commandment of leadership is you persevere through adversity. You don't quit. When things go very bad, you stay to solve the problem. I just had an example of Abraham Lincoln. All right, what about Nelson Mandela in South Africa? For what he believed as a leader of his people against the apartheid government, he was sentenced to prison, and he spent 27 years in prison. After the 27 years, he was brought out, and this man eventually became the president of South Africa, reconciling the country together again. And Mandela has become a respected global leader. He persevered, stayed in the prison, didn't kill himself until he eventually came out and became the president. What about this man by the name Thomas Edison, the man that invented light bulb? It was said that this man experimented with the creation of the light bulb 10,000 times until he eventually succeeded in achieving what he wanted to do. When he was asked how he failed, he said, "I have not failed. I've just found out 10,000 ways that won't work." I didn't fail at all. So if he had given up on the creation of the light bulb, of course, he's one of the leaders in the inventing world. The world of invention, where you can't talk about the world of invention without the person of Thomas Edison. Either secularly or theologically, you have to persevere through opposition. How do you respond to adversity as a leader? Do you collapse under pressure, or do you push through? Do you see obstacles as barriers or as opportunities to grow? Please don't ever see opposition as an opportunity to quit. In that unit, you are the leader and people are gossiping you, trying to tear the unit apart. It is not the time to resign. If you want to succeed as a leader, you have to stamp your feet, not fighting everybody, solving the problem rather. All right, persevere. All right, go through all the commandments I've talked about. They're going to help you to know how to successfully navigate as a leader. If this blesses you today, ladies and gentlemen, I want to encourage you to don't forget to drop your comment, like the video, subscribe to this channel, comment, and share it to other people to also benefit from. If you have not seen the other episodes, the 10 Commandments of Leadership, I want to encourage you to go check them out. They're going to be of great blessings to you. I look forward to seeing you again. My name is Godwyns. God bless you today, God bless you tomorrow, and God bless you forever. Thank you.
Jesus is not looking for fans. He's not searching for admirers. He's seeking men and women who will follow him. He's looking for weak people whom he will make strong. He is searching for sinners he can turn into saints. That is what the school of leadership and discipleship is all about.